The situation we are going through in Nigeria today may lead us to a better situation at the end. The only thing at the beginning is rough, is fearful, but I hope and I pray with the prayers of other good and well-meaning Nigerians that the country will come out better. However bad the situation is, there are good Nigerians who want the best and who will bring out the best from the present situation. Certainly, I didn't go out to make money. There is no position I've held that the objective is to enrich myself. Certainly not. It's to offer service and decent service, be an example to those who will come and a point of reference. Anywhere I go today, in fact, I feel very happy and proud that I am who I am. I got involved in politics for a different purpose, to make sure that where I come from, the people are not cheated. And in this country, how many people actually sit down to read? There are very few. There are those who read, no doubt, but they are fewer than those who don't read. My thinking, I don't know, but I know that man. I think I like him. I think he's a gentleman, he's a decent man. He probably had known that he can't make it. And there's no point wasting so much money just because we want to make history by saying he ran. Most of these people contested, they mean well. And if you see the insult they go through, you start asking them, what do they benefit from this? So it's the same thing. I will apply the same statement to Peter Obi. If you see the man is slow in talking, but he marshals his points. But if you ask for my advice, I will tell him that, look, since from what I read in the newspaper, he's a lucky man who is well endowed economically. He's go and do something in which can benefit, from which his people can benefit economically. I start to wonder in my mind, why do we have political parties? We could as well say Hausa party, Igbo party, Fulani party, Yoruba party, and so on. Some people cannot imagine if ever they will ever produce presidency from where they come from.
Well, it's another very lovely, beautiful day today in the city of Abuja as we meet an elder statesman, a great man, a man of impeccable achievement, a man that is rare to come by, one of the founders of this great country, Nigeria, a thinker, a doer, someone I can call a politician, technocrat, a tactician, a general, somebody who has contributed especially to the body of governance in the country, and I'm privileged after so many days to meet Major General David Medayese Jemibewon. We are going to be reacting to issues as relate to development in the country. He has done a lot of reforms in the past, and we feel that people of this generation, the new politicians, supposed to learn from this so that we can come in and we can go in, we can do a lot from here. And I want to thank the general this morning for giving us all his time. Daddy, I want to thank you, I want to appreciate you. We know it's not easy, and we'll be here for 2 hours, and we thank God that after your meeting you are here with us. First and foremost, sir, how do you feel about the country? We're in the week of different convention, different political gesticulation, but how do you feel as an elder statesman at this age, sir? With total honor, sir.
Yes, thank you very much for considering me good enough to interview me, and I appreciate it. Actually, some weeks ago, I was very uncomfortable, particularly on things I read in the newspapers, comments by some people I thought are good leaders, people I thought the young ones could look up to within the country, and some of their pronouncements were negative or not comfortable. But also, I guess in my mind that with time, hopefully, the situation will come to normalcy. So I'm happy that my fear as a person, at that time, has been ameliorated somehow. Things may be slow, but are gradually becoming normal or more palatable. So I want to believe that the situation we are going through in Nigeria today may lead us to a better situation at the end. The only thing at the beginning is rough, is fearful, but I hope and I pray with the prayers of other good and well-meaning Nigerians that the country will come out better. Yes.
So you're technocrats. Everybody knows that you have brought a lot of reforms to the country, especially in the police sector, in the security sector. And before we even go there, let's look at the politics now. You have also have your taste. You are an all-round figure, personality. You're all-round, what can I call it, taster. You've tasted politics in 2003. Right now, we are going through a situation whereby it is believed that some delegates are hawking their conscience to the aspirants, and some other school of opinion believe that the aspirants are buying conscience. Recently, just a few days ago, the son of a former deputy president, vice president, Adamu Sambo, said some delegates should return his 2 million naira to him because they didn't allow him to win for the Kaduna North Federal Constituency, and he has paid them 2 million. He even promised giving them 1.5 million. Unfortunately, his opponent won, who decamped from PDP to APC, and it became a national issue that how did we get to a level whereby we are now buying the conscience of delegates, that people cannot vote because of your quality, the quality of your orientation or quality of character, instead of the prowess of your finances. So how do you feel when you hear this kind of story? Because in 2003, I learned you contested in Kogi State against your best friend, your good friend, General Obasanjo, and we saw what happened there. So what's your experience like, and how does it connect with this time, sir, with total honor, sir?
Anyway, the latter part of your question, let me address that first. Actually, it will appear to me that we are progressively making some improvement in our electoral process. If you take note, even though the present situation is a new color in a way, and it looks cumbersome and not quite attractive for those who believe in decency. It's still better than what it was when we started this present dispensation. So I want to believe that we will continue to, hopefully, we will continue to improve as we move forward. So I would think that whatever mistakes we make now, hopefully, if we allow the process to run through, we'll improve, because we will have learned lessons from what must have happened in the process. And also, however bad the situation is, there are good Nigerians who want the best and who will bring out the best from the present situation. So my comment is of general nature. That is the way I'll put it.
What was your experience in 2003 when you went to election? Because you are a man of voluntary discretion. I mean, you are the first adjutant general in Nigeria Army that voluntarily resigned according to history. Nobody pushed you, nobody seduced you, nobody induced you. So, but when you went into politics in 2003, what was your proposition? Were you going there to make money or to make a change, and what was the result like, sir?
Certainly, I didn't go out to make money. There is no position I've held that the objective is to enrich myself. Certainly not. It's to offer service and decent service, be an example to those who will come, and a point of reference. And I'm happy that anywhere I go today, in fact, I feel very happy and proud that I am who I am. That I am who I am. I think, I can't remember now, but few days ago, I went to the National Hospital here for treatment to see a doctor. And in the waiting room, I saw some women and an elderly woman. I greeted a lady, an elderly lady, and the way she embraced me, those comments she made about me, and I was wondering, why do you know me? And I was lucky that I went with one of the children of my junior brother, who is presently deceased. And I had to call him to come in, to come and listen to what somebody I don't know was saying about me. And I asked the lady where she knew me. She won't tell me. So whatever I do them because I believe that, or I feel that those are the ideal things I should do, and that a person who wants fairness should do. So in fact, when I got involved in politics, yes, I got involved in politics for a different purpose, to make sure that where I come from, the people were not cheated. Because you see, they had always talked about population and so on. And unfortunately, I come from an area where we cannot claim that we have large population. So if we work strictly on population, there are many things we normally would have gotten, but which we couldn't get, because compared to the population of our neighbors, we are small. Okay, so, and I tried to also advise, plead with the people. I'm trying to not to use the word my people, but the people. Everybody, they all are my people. That they should do certain things to make future better. And that was the time we came with the idea of this possibility of an agreement. Not all agreements are written agreement. There are verbal agreement and so on. That there can be an agreement whereby we do certain things by understanding, if you wish, you can call it rotation.
That's a good one, sir. Rotational presidency.
Yes. Not any position. You see, if four of us are here and we agree that this, my brother here, should be the first person to sit on that chair, and that we should do it in such a way that we'll do it either rotation by clockwise or anti-clockwise. You'll find that if we all agree and nobody violates the agreement, we'll find that each time there's a change, it will be easy for the next one to come in, because we have all agreed. And if there's any reason why we need to change our mind, we should come back again and review it. So, and I told them at that time that this rotation thing can be reviewed, and we can agree within ourselves at what intervals shall we review it. And it doesn't matter what the situation is, all agreements should be such that you agree, and you also agree as to periodical review, because no condition is permanent. So this is it. So personally, I was not interested, even when I put forward my name, that I was going to also contest. And anyway, don't let me go beyond this. I mean, let's move forward.
Yeah, because a lot of people also look at PDP, People's Democratic Party, and you look at what is happening today. Yesterday, PETER Obi just suddenly resigned, that he's not doing again, he's stepping down, maybe because of the financial pressures. We have a very good presidential material, and he says he's not doing again. But you look at the constitution of the party, from what we're able to glean, we learn that you, as a lawyer, you are the first, let me use the language, guy to write the constitution, and you are even writing it inside the dark with candle. I mean, there was no light, and you took your time to put it down level by level, grade by grade. So I want you to please kindly tell us the story of that constitution, and how do you feel today as one of the godfathers, one of the founders, one of the what can I call it, the progenitor of the People's Democratic Party?
It's a long story, and I don't think I have the time.
You want to hear the story, sir?
I don't think I have the time to go into the story. That's number one. And then in this country, how many people actually sit down to read? There are very few. There are those who read, no doubt, but they are fewer than those who don't read. So I would suggest that I don't go into the details.
A lot of people want you to go into that. I mean, looking at the party today, the way it is, you are the think tank merchant. That's what I'm going to call you, the think tank merchant. And we cannot tell the story of the party, the history of PDP, without remembering the think tank merchant. You see, the Yoruba will say, Nisoro. I'm sorry to put that one, that you won't talk about the dog meat without naming the pot that was used to cook it and all that. So with total honor, we want to know that how do you feel about PDP today? I mean, being someone who labored intellectually to put some of those things down with some of your allies.
Yes, I would say I just happened to be one of many. And when I look or read through newspapers and see some names, I see how it will appear we have so much wasted our time. Take, for example, when I read about PDP, I don't hear, as I would have loved to, contributions made for the party like this gentleman from Niger State, Professor Jerry Ghana. How much of his name do you hear now? But he was a great architect in bringing about PDP. There were many like that, but I just thought if I just use him. But I'm sure the party is doing well. Even if he doesn't play active part, you will still be hearing his name. But I don't hear much of his name anymore.
That's Professor Jerry Ghana, the Mamsa man.
Yes. And that's why I'm a little bit happy for the gentleman from Benue. He was also a very pushful gentleman.
Dr. Yocha, are you?
Yocha, are you? Quiet, but diplomatic in his approach, civilized, and so in a way, I'm happy that they still have him there. So it went on like that. Good people, and when one thinks, I think, if you know those outstanding individuals, yes, sir. Some are gone, some are still here. We ought to learn lessons through these people, like the former governor of Kano State, but the very first, under the present dispensation.
You're talking about Governor Kokwanso?
No.
Okay. Shekarau?
No.
Okay. Governor Rimi?
Dr. Rimi. He was a very courageous young man. He would say his mind. And then, of course, we had very progressive people, mentally alert, and it appears we don't have those type of quality of men these days. And so when you are opportune to be involved in the midst of these people, you cannot but do the right thing. And this is what we are lacking now. But I'm sure with time.
How long? How far with time?
I'm not a magician, but when a man makes it or says something like that, it's also mixed with prayers. It's not a categorical statement, but it's mixed with prayers.
How do you feel when you hear that Peter Obi, one of your bright stars in the PDP, decided to turn down the party yesterday, said he's resigning, and it's...
Yes, when I heard it, I called a friend, I said, look, my thing, I don't know, but I know that man. I think I like him. I think he's a gentleman, he's a decent man. I know a few years ago, he was called running mate, but he didn't make much progress. Not that it's not good. Perhaps it's just that it doesn't fall in line with the way they have apportioned political position. But I think, this is a personal thought, I just felt that he knew that things were not going normal. That's one. Second, he probably had known that he can't make it. And there's no point wasting so much money just because we want to make history by saying he ran. What position did he take or something like that? Probably he has considered this. And it's like some years ago, when a similar exercise was on, and Vice President Atiku brought his campaign to Lokoja, I attended. And at one point, I had to tell Vice President Abubakar.
You mean Atiku Abubakar?
Atiku Abubakar, that Your Excellency, I sympathize with you. You spend your time, you spend your personal money and resources. You go from state to state, campaigning or canvassing for vote. You are reasonably comfortable by any standard or imagination in this country. I believe you want to help the country. You want to help us. That's why you are contesting for this position. But really, if you don't get it, who loses? It's the country that loses. Okay? So I made this statement to him because most of these people contested, they mean well. And if you see the insult they go through, you start asking them, what do they benefit from this? So it's the same thing. I will apply the same statement to Peter Obi. If you see the man is slow in talking, but he marshals his points. And when they now made this voting or interest to be based on regions or states and so on, the possibility is there that some aspects are good, but some aspects aren't terribly good. You then I start to wonder in my mind, why do we have political parties? We could as well say Hausa party, Igbo party, Fulani party, Yoruba party, and so on. And we base our choice on this, rather than to say now it has to be not even on state level. Even if we say state level, maybe it will be good. But I think if we were to go down, probably I would have supported what we call zonal basis than state. Okay? To say, all right, well, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And we should not have probably divided our country into the number of states. The number of states that we have today.
36 states.
36. So we could probably have stayed on our Western Senatorial District. On Western states, Eastern states, Northern, something of that nature.
Midwest states.
Yes. And so probably have 6 to 10 controlled, if you also wish, call it regions and so on. So I don't know, really I don't know.
So you see that this multi-party whatever is becoming compulsive and people are not getting it.
Exactly, and it's conveying meaning. It's conveying meaning. Because what it simply means that some people cannot imagine if ever they will ever produce presidency from where they come from.
With the kind of calculation, with the kind of geopolitical pressure and all that.
Yes. So I don't know.
But if you see Mr. Peter Obi one-on-one, what are you going to advise him? I mean,
Advise what?
if you see Mr. Peter Obi one-on-one, what are you going to advise him to do?
That's not that I'm going to advise him to do. But if he asks for my advice, I will tell him that, look, since from what I read in the newspaper, he's a lucky man who is well endowed economically. He's go and do something in which can benefit, from which his people can benefit economically. Because initially I was anyway. Let's go. Let's move forward.
I think you have something you want to say about that, but let's quickly move to. Let me go back a bit to the issue of the Federal Road Safety Commission. I want you to clear this opinion, because a lot of people have this perception. From what I read when I went into my archive recently, I learned that it was one Colonel David Jemibewon that started it in Oyo State, and a lot of people have this perception that Federal Road Safety was an idea of the Ibrahim Badamasi regime, and it was solely, maybe some people even feel that it was Professor Wole Soyinka that initiated it, and that it was the solar, it was the creator, the initiator. But from what I read in the archive, I was shocked, and with total honor, sir, I want you to put light into it, because from the narrative, they said this Colonel David Jemibewon was just sleeping in his room, and the idea just came, and he put it into practice. And from what we even saw, we learned it was one Major Hamza that was a false, maybe a director or whatever. Sir, is this still the same Colonel Jemibewon that we're with right now? And how true is that, sir? With total honor, sir.
Anyway, first, the latter part of your question.
Yes, sir.
Nigeria seems to enjoy sensational news.